Hello, my name is Dr. Sarah Dilling. I am your professor this semester for Introduction to Oceanography. I wanted to take the next couple of minutes to introduce some of the textbooks that are required for this class and how to complete your laboratory exercises using the laboratory manual for this class. So as you can see right now, we are on the class homepage. If I were to scroll down to about midway, you can see where we start talking about the textbook information for this class. As you can see here in red, both the textbook and the investigations manual is required, and both have to be purchased. You cannot view them online. I don't know how much I can stress this enough. You cannot see the laboratory exercises anywhere online. You have to physically purchase the textbook. And lab manual. There's two different books you have to buy. You can buy these separately. You can buy them as a package. You can get them at the Edison bookstore, or you can find them online. That's completely up to you, but you have to have both of these texts for this class. The actual textbook with the chapter information is titled Ocean Studies Introduction to Oceanography. It's the 3rd edition, and you can see the ISBN number. The Laboratory Investigations Manual, the cover is right here. It's titled Ocean Studies Investigations Manual with Globe. It's the 9th edition. This edition just came out in 2012, last semester for fall. It might be hard to find a used copy of this investigations manual, but you absolutely have to have the 9th edition. Otherwise, your questions and answers will not line up with the exercises that are set up for this course. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute when we go into the actual exercise. Right here, you'll also see that there is a link for the AMS website. This link and website has some additional information, maybe some additional graphs or pictures that's mentioned in the laboratory exercises. It might have some weekly news and some extra study questions for your supplemental information. I would use this login ID and password that I have right here. I went ahead and logged on to it. I'll open that page to show you what it looks like. But again, you cannot see the laboratory exercises from this web page. You have to buy the book. This is just extra information. If there's an error in the manual or anything like that, it would be posted on this website. So let's go back to the course website. I'm going to go into the module section, which is where you can find the quizzes for the laboratory exercises. If we were to look at Lesson 1, which is also Chapter 1, you will see that there are 2 laboratory exercises. There are always 2 provided for every chapter. You only have to complete 1. So if you were to take Chapter 1 Lab A and you were not satisfied with your grade, then you could take Lab B, and the higher grade of the 2 would be the one that was counted towards your overall course grade. But you only have to complete 1 of them. So if I were to click into Chapter 1 Lab A, I'll show you how it's set up. In this lab there are 14 questions. There's no time limit, but you only have 1 submission. When I go into the quiz, you will see the question is very vague. It just says question 1, and it says investigations 1A number 1. This corresponds to the question that's in your lab manual. I do have a copy of Chapter 1, so I can show you exactly what it's referring to. Let me scroll back up to the top from where I was, and you can see this is what it looks like in your lab manual. If you were completing this lab, you would read through the lab and all the information that's in it. Very quick reader here. We get to question 1, and you can see what the question is asking you. Then the possible answers for this question is 2009, 2010, or 2011. This is where you are going to put the answer that you believe is the correct answer. And then we move on to question 2. So we'll continue reading this lab. And when we get down to here, you'll see questions 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Question number 2, components of the Earth system interact in random or orderly ways as described by natural laws. So we go back to our quiz, and you will see question number 2, random or orderly. When you answer it, you go through for all 14 questions. At the very end, scroll down to all 14. Once you're done answering all 14, you hit submit, and it will grade your quiz automatically. Alright, so that is all the information again for the laboratory investigations. There are 7 total. The lowest one for every chapter is dropped. Again, so if you were to do Chapter 1 Lab A and get a grade that you are satisfied with, you do not have to take Lab B. But when I end up doing grades, you'll have a 0 for Lab B, but that 0 is dropped. It will not count towards your final grade. So don't freak out when you see that you'll have a 0 in the assignments that are not completed. Even though it's not required, it'll just count as a higher grade of the 2. Alright, feel free to email me if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a nice day. Thank you so much.